and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee, and as you saw from our introduction, we are going to be talking about the buddy walk, and you're going to find out who your buddy is momentarily. But before I begin, I would like to invite you to email me if you have a suggestion for a future topic, or if something happens and you miss my wonderful guest's email address, you could, actually, I don't think we have an email address tonight. So you can, if you have a question, you can email me at talk@bcattv.org. I would like to thank the crew for this evening. We have Tad Stefanak, who is one of the staff members here at BCAT, making sure us volunteers get everything running smoothly. We also have Gwyneth McNamee and Evan McNamee as crew. So that means there is no daddy date night tonight because the kids are here. So daddy gets the night off. So housekeeping aside, I would like to introduce my wonderful guest, Mike Thomas, who is I gotta get this right, the co-chair of the 2023 MDSC Buddy Walk.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Along with my wife, Suzanne.
Oh, so it's both of you.
Yes, it's me and Suzanne. Susie, everyone calls her.
She's Susie.
So we are chairing the walk this year.
Excellent. Well, before we start talking about the walk
Yep.
itself, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you came to the Burlington area, and then we'll go into what the MDSC is and how you got involved in all of that.
Okay, so I am from, my family's from Buffalo, New York. So
I'm going to be traveling there
yeah.
pretty soon, real soon.
Yeah, so you are. You're going to be close to where my family is. And so I went from Buffalo to New York City, to New Jersey, spent some time in New Jersey, Virginia, and then I went to school in Rochester, New York, at the University of Rochester.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I got a job in Waltham, Mass.
Okay.
And from Waltham is where, in Massachusetts, obviously I met my wife. She's a Burlington native. Mm-hmm. So she's been here her whole life, and we now...
and she's never going to leave.
Yeah, and Burlington people don't leave, so she's going to stay here, and now I'm here. And so that's pretty much how I got to Burlington.
All right. Excellent. Well, glad you were here and glad you get to stay. So what is the MDSC, and how did you become aware of its existence?
So the MDSC is the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress.
Okay.
And it's an organization that helps mainly individuals with Down syndrome for to have inclusion and helping them with education and job opportunities and just development overall.
Okay.
And so my wife and I, we got involved with Down syndrome after our son Ethan was born. Now 12 years ago, a little bit over 12 years ago. And yeah.
He's grown up, we haven't.
Yeah, so, and that's how we found out in the hospital. After we had, after they said, we think your son might have Down syndrome.
Okay.
So, which was, it's a bit of a shock because we didn't know.
Okay.
Before our son was born, that's when we found out is that we could possibly have a child with Down syndrome.
Okay.
And from there is when the MDSC stepped in.
Okay. Is Down syndrome like hereditary or anything? Do you know, or is it just like
the most common, which is trisomy 21, which
Okay.
is an extra Y chromosome,
Okay.
is not. It's just
Luck of genetics.
it happens.
Okay.
Sometimes there's markers, sometimes there's different things that you can kind of get an idea that you might have a child with Down syndrome.
Okay.
And at that point, you may or may not ask for some type of testing, but nothing's 100%.
Right.
So, with us, it was, the doctor said, you think there might be a marker, but they said, but it's nothing to worry about. No, there's nothing for you to think about. it's likely just like a spot.
Okay.
And then when Ethan was born,
Oh,
it
so
was
like
confirmed.
prenatal testing,
Yeah, so
like an
prenatal
ultrasound
testing,
or something. It's
ultrasound.
like,
Yeah, there was just
okay.
they just saw like normally there's like some type of a light spot or something that you would see,
Okay.
but
Nothing
they said, oh,
conclusive,
it's
or-
probably nothing. It's only one marker, nothing to be even thinking about.
Okay.
And then Ethan was born, and that's when we had to start thinking about it. And we said, okay, all right,
Right. Now what?
what's our plan now?
Okay. So the MDSE reached out to you, or the hospital introduced you to, or your family to MDSE. Did they help with like emotional support or networking, or what did they what do they do?
The answer to the question is yes
Okay.
to everything that you just mentioned.
Okay.
There's a first call program where
Okay.
they connect you with other parents that have children with Down syndrome,
Okay.
and it's a big thing for new parents. So they connected us with actually a couple different couples that had kids with Down syndrome that were a little bit older.
Okay. Were they like
To let us know.
relatively local?
At the time, one was in Burlington.
Okay.
And then there's from other towns, like there's some people in Lexington, there's some
Okay.
people all over the place. And then they have the first call program. They have programs where you can have like play dates with
Oh,
other
okay.
kids with Down syndrome and
Okay.
their families. And the big thing is to keep everyone within the family involved.
Okay.
And from there, we got associated with the Buddy Walk. So we
Okay.
had our first Buddy Walk, and I think, let's see, born in May. So our first Buddy Walk, and Ethan was 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
And we had no idea what to expect.
Okay.
And so we just said, okay.
I figured you'd wait like a
this-
year or two, but wow, you
no,
jumped right in.
well, so I mean, we'd heard about these things. It's
Okay.
really fun. We're like, okay, it's just something to benefit kids with Down syndrome. And
Okay.
our thought was, let's see what their future holds. What
Okay.
can we expect from our child?
Okay.
What can we expect to deal with? What can we expect to have, and all these
Okay.
types of things. And I'd say just a quick thing, that the big thing that people or parents with children with Down syndrome, they say, it's welcome to Holland. And the reason I say there's a poem. It's called Welcome to Holland. And
Okay, I'm like,
basically,
Holland.
it's
Okay.
a woman got on a plane, and she she's going to go with all her girlfriends, and she was like, all right, we're going to Italy. And she wasn't paying attention. She boarded the plane, and as they were about to land, the pilot said, "Oh, everyone, well, welcome to Holland." And she was like, "No, I'm not going to Holland. I'm going to Italy. That's what I planned for. That's what I
Okay.
know I'm going to get. I'm going to Italy. I have to do all these things. I have all these plans for the future." And she was like, well, you're not going to Italy now. So it's like, okay, I'm in Holland. What is Holland? Holland has beautiful flowers. They have all types of joyous places to be, and it's smiles everywhere, and everyone's so kind, and it's just a lovely place to be. And that's kind of what it's like to have someone with Down syndrome.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, you expect it to have this child that's going to be just like everyone else's child. And he is, but he isn't. Like
Okay.
everyone else, he's unique. Like there's no two children that are alike,
Right.
even twins. So,
It's true.
it's, you're welcome to Holland. It's not what you expected,
I like that.
but there is a lot of joy in what you found.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's just a difference. That's it.
So, what is the Buddy Walk? Is it like the American Cancer Society has the Relay for Life, and you just walk around the track? Is the Buddy Walk a walkathon, or?
So you get just sponsors, or not sponsors, but you get donations.
Okay.
To the Buddy Walk.
Okay.
It's not like a per mile thing. It's you're walking 3 miles.
Okay.
Around Lake. I want to say it's Quano.
What town?
Quanapowit in Wakefield.
Oh, in Wakefield. Okay.
So it's the big lake in Wakefield,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Right off of North Ave. So We take a 3-mile walk around there, but even more importantly than that, it's on the common. There's a huge amount of people from just families, friends. There's networks, there's balloons, there's all types of games, there's sponsors. Everyone's there.
Yeah, I saw from the website the signing time lady's going to be there.
So this year
I totally forget her name.
It's Rachel Coleman.
Yes.
Rachel Coleman will be there. If you've seen the movie Champions, it's let's see, what's his name? It's James Keith.
Okay.
From the movie Champions. It was a movie that pretty much centralized around, with Woody Harrelson, and centralized around a basketball team, and pretty much I think most if not all of the players had Down syndrome.
Oh, okay. I was not familiar with the movie, but I don't get out much. So
so it came out I think a year or two ago.
Okay.
And so he's going to be there. In the past, we've had people from other shows that just will come in. We have guest appearance.
Okay.
And then it's just a lot of people having fun. It's like a huge family.
Cool. And you get T-shirt. Well, you're wearing a T-shirt.
Yes. We have a new T-shirt, new color every year.
So is the T-shirt for just your team, or is it for anybody who wants one? Do you get a separate? Could your team have one? Because you're Ethan's entourage?
Yes, Ethan's entourage is our team. And if we wanted to make our own shirt, then we could make our own shirt outside of the Buddy Walk.
Okay.
But there is a design and a shirt chosen every year for everyone that wants to donate and purchase a shirt.
Oh.
So your donation could go towards a shirt, and then you can also make an outside donation as well. To the Buddy Walk.
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, when is the Buddy Walk? You said 5 months from when Ethan was born.
So it's the date somewhat changes every year, but this year it's on October 8th.
Okay.
In Wakefield.
Columbus Day weekend?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
It is. It's Columbus Day weekend, and we're gonna have a lot of people there, and the teams. You don't have to exactly know us personally to be part of our team.
Oh,
if you want to be part of Ethan's entourage, you go on the website, you say you want to join our team, all are welcome. If you want to just show up and go on the walk,
gonna ask you that.
You can show up and sign up.
Because I love Rachel Coleman, so I'm like, maybe I'll just go. Right?
Yeah.
Fun.
Just show up and have fun.
Okay. I know I sent you my notes, and I've already gone way off.
Yep.
So what are some of the, let's back up a little bit, because we will talk about the Buddy Walk again as we get to be a little later. But what are some of the common misconceptions that either you've learned, you knew about before, or that you've actually experienced as having a child with Down syndrome?
That they're not smart. That's the main thing. Children, adults, young adults with Down syndrome, they're very intelligent, very smart. The main difference is the rate in which they learn.
Okay.
So it's your cognitive, your cognitive speed. So if they can learn pretty much everything that everyone else can learn.
Okay.
And they understand it, and they get it, and they can apply it, and all these things. It's just a matter of how quickly they learn it.
Okay.
And that's not even the same for every child with Down syndrome. It's again, it's unique. So.
Okay.
Ethan might learn it, at one speed, then somebody with Down syndrome, a classmate or something might learn it at a totally different speed.
Okay.
So that's one of the main things, that they're not smart. They're plenty crafty, and they will use that if they can to take advantage of people. And fool them.
A little manipulator.
Yeah. So they recognize, and they see everything. and that they can't do things.
Okay.
So that's the main thing, is that just because they have Down syndrome, that they can achieve. There's people on Capitol Hill. There's people who have businesses. There's,
We're starting to see more like owners of small businesses, like bakeries or something, where the owner or the manager has Down syndrome.
Oh yeah. There's lots of bakeries across the nation. There's different cafes that are run.
Okay.
There's all types of businesses. Like I said, people work in politics. So it's not.
And do you think that's changed? Because like from when you and I were Ethan's age, that it just becomes more acceptable, or there are more opportunities? Is that because of the work of MDSC that Ethan could someday, be the manager of the mall?
Yeah, so there's definitely more opportunities. It used to be a lot. You had to be much more of an advocate, and you had to push a lot harder.
Okay.
Even for inclusion in the classroom, it
Okay.
used to be a lot harder. Now it's you have a meeting, you say, I want my kid to be in as much as possible.
Okay.
And there's legislation, and there's people lobbying for
The equal
people with
opportunity.
equal opportunity, and people with mental disabilities.
Okay.
So, and it's not, and the thing is, it's not, Down syndrome isn't who they are. It's just a condition that they have.
Okay.
Someone could have, one leg that is a little different than the other. They just have like that's a condition. It's,
Right.
it's just
Okay.
something that they have, but that's not who they are. So
Or
that's
like
the
color
big thing.
blindness or
Yeah,
something.
like
Okay.
you have a condition. It's just Ethan's is a little bit more visible at times,
Okay.
but sometimes it's not even that easy to tell
Okay.
if someone has Down syndrome, right away, because everyone doesn't look the same. They don't have all the same markers. It's not
Okay.
all the same.
When you were talking about the ability to learn was just a little bit slower-ish, what about driving?
There's.
I'm just thinking like reaction times, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of curious about that
So
whole
I mean,
thing.
driving could be a possibility if if he wants.
Okay.
I don't personally know a lot of people with Down syndrome that do drive,
Okay.
because maybe of the reaction time
Okay.
and that the processing time, so processing the
Okay.
things around you. But it is a possibility, and
Okay.
there's always things that they're working on, and programs and things like that, to get people with Down syndrome to be more included into society in every walk of it.
Okay. We talked about with the buddy walk, or I don't know whether it was the buddy walk or MDSC wanted the entire family to be involved. I'd like to expand a little more on that as to why they want that inclusiveness of everybody to participate. But is that something that we could carry over to the community, like to schools or to, the job market or sports, or, I'm just looking at my notes saying what are ways that we as a community can correct some of the misconceptions of individuals with Down syndrome.
So
If that makes
it's like everyone
sense
else. Every kid wants to be included.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid wants to, if people go in the jungle gym, you
Mm-hmm.
want to go play with all the other kids.
Yep.
Basically, don't treat the kids with Down syndrome, people with Down syndrome, don't treat them like you have to talk any slower. You have to talk any louder.
Okay.
They
I'm
have
just thinking like if somebody
have a
speaks a foreign
disability.
language, it's like, can you understand?
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's like, they're not deaf. Not all. There's some. I mean, like anyone else, there's people.
Well,
there's
exactly.
towns that
Like
that
anybody
are deaf,
else.
but
They're not going to understand you any better if you yell at them.
Yeah, if you yell at them, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna go, "Why are you yelling
Yeah.
at me?" So it's
Tune
one of
you
those
out.
things.
Talk
But
to me.
it's just treat them like other kids. Ethan likes to play soccer, so if he's not passing the ball, say, Ethan, pass me the ball.
Yeah.
He also likes to, for you to pass the ball to him.
Okay.
He wants to go and play baseball, or he doesn't want to play baseball.
Okay.
He's
So
decided he
same
doesn't like
as any
baseball.
other
He likes to
8
play
or
soccer.
10-year-old or 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, he likes, he wants to, I don't know, play Roblox with his friends. So
Okay.
he gets online, he plays Roblox with his friends, and he uses his iPad, and he wants to text people, and he wants to take pictures, and
So, Dad, when am I getting a phone?
yeah. So that we're holding that off for him to get a phone. But I mean, the main thing one thing I will say that is different about at least children with Down syndrome is he's happy, but he's not always happy. He gets happy, he gets mad,
Okay.
and but they just have an outlook and a way of doing things. It's like every day there's a smile.
Okay.
It's like you can just, like, he'll do something and you'll just go, why'd you do that? And he'll be like, I don't know. And he'll have done it. But then it's like, oh, you got to do your math homework. And he's like, ugh. And he just gives me the 12-year-old grunt that every 12-year-old gives. I don't want to do this anymore.
The foot stomp eye roll.
Yeah,
No, I don't want to do it.
Oh, one more minute. I don't want whatever. So
I'm in the middle of a game, Dad.
yeah. So it's like every other kid. So that's the big thing. Just include and treat them like you would want to be treated, and like they're just another kid.
Now, have you found that is the case for Ethan? Have the schools, have the sports teams been inclusive, or have you had to find yourself kind of redirecting the others around you to break down those misconceptions?
The schools have been really good. For the most part, it's pretty much our basic thing is, we say push him as hard as you can.
Okay.
Push him to where he will tell you, okay, I've had enough. I need a break.
Okay.
But make him reach his potential and push him to where, he's really working his brain, and he's not, like, slacking off. He's not being lazy about it. With the
I'm
sports.
just thinking the earlier comments about how he's really good at manipulating.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If it's like anyone, if he can get you to do something for him, if he's like, oh, I don't want to carry my backpack. Like, oh, is it too heavy for you? And the answer is no, it's not too heavy for you. But
if I say yes, you're going to carry it.
If I say yes, you're going to carry my backpack. So I don't need to carry my backpack. Okay. I will let you carry my backpack, and that's perfectly fine. If I say, I don't like this, I want to watch iPad, and you're like, and every time I do that, you just go, okay, here, go ahead. And then it's like, all right, well, if I just say I don't like something, I get to do whatever I want to do, and I don't have to do anything. So that's the thing. Like, they're smart. So, you just treat them the way that everyone else would be treated.
Okay. I know this has probably come up, not necessarily on the topic of Down syndrome, but looking at the MDSC website, they talked about people first language. Tell me more about that.
So that's basically it's like I said, it's not it's a condition they have, not who they are. So their Down syndrome does not define them.
Okay.
It's treat me as a person. I'm a person first, and I'm a person with Down syndrome. I'm a person that wears glasses. I'm a person that has hearing aids. But I'm not the hearing aid person.
Right. Okay.
I'm not the glasses guy.
The wheelchair.
It's like, oh,
Okay.
It's not like, hey, that's
So
the guy in the wheelchair.
First, the condition.
And that guy's
that guy's
having his Paul. It's like, oh no, that's Paul.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's like, okay. And then it's like, but it's like, oh, well, Paul has to go up the ramp because he has a wheelchair. Okay, fine.
Okay.
But first, he's still
Yes.
Paul. He's not
Okay.
anything else.
So back to the buddy walk.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless there's anything else you want to add about.
No.
Okay. How did you get manipulated? How did you get chosen to be the chairperson? Or you and Susie get chosen as the co-chairs?
So we have been on the Buddy Walk committee for several years.
Okay, because you do everything.
We do a lot, yeah.
Coaching this sport, coaching that sport, and volunteering, and yeah. So
Yeah.
When do you have time?
We don't, not a lot of time, but
Okay.
we
I don't
figure
need
it out.
sleep.
But yeah, so we were on the committee for several years.
Okay.
And we're always the type of people like, all right, well, what do you need? We'll do it. We'll
Okay.
work on this. We'll work on that.
Okay.
But it was one of those things of we have basically the longest tenure on the committee, other people that had not been chair, and so they asked, and our first thing was like, okay, I guess so, we'll do it. But then we thought about it and we said, well, the amount that the MDSC has done for us, that it became an excitement of, okay, we want to do something for the MDSC. So
Okay.
we want to help out. We want to, if they ask, then yep, we'll do it.
Okay.
No matter what they want, okay, fine, because they've done so much for us
Okay.
to help develop and to feel comfortable and to any questions we have and models and that type of thing.
Okay.
It's just been awesome and exciting for us. So we just felt we wanted to give back.
Okay. Now, is the former chair? Now, do you serve as chair just for a year, or do you stay on as long as you want to, or?
Most do it for 2 years.
Okay.
This is our first year,
Okay.
and depending on how it goes and how it works in with all our other activities, we'll see.
Okay.
But most do serve for 2 years. So you do 1 year to kind of get your feet wet, and then the next year, I guess it normally feels a little bit more comfortable. So you
Well, yeah.
you
most
do
of
it again,
the surprises are
and you have an
gone.
idea. You work out the kinks in the letter, your
Okay.
chairperson's letter, and how to in the different interviews you do, the radio stations, and being
Okay.
on stage, welcoming everybody at the Buddy Walk, that type of thing.
Okay.
So
I'm just wondering if the prior chair is around to give you advice or.
So on our committee, I'm trying to think. There's only about 3 people, I think, who are on the committee who have not been chairs.
Okay.
So they're always right there.
Okay.
Like we just had a meeting last week, and the previous chairs were sitting right there, and it's whatever you need.
What do I do?
Yeah, you need anything? You need any advice? Do you
Okay.
need me to help you write any letters? Do you,
Okay.
any questions? And they're all right there.
But there's pretty much, I'm guessing, or I'm hoping that there's a formula for you to follow. Okay, contact these media outlets, and here are some. How do you know to reach out, or how to reach out to the celebrities?
So
is there a
the
checklist?
MDSC normally does that.
Okay.
They grab all the celebrities. They get all the
Okay.
people for us.
Okay.
Because the network and the connections that they have, it's huge.
Okay.
They know
So that's
people all
not
over the country.
Hi, my name's Mike.
Yeah. No, I'm not contacting Rachel Coleman and getting her. They get that.
Okay.
And they have an entire team of people that do that type of thing.
Okay.
But they also have people that can offer advice on, working with social media,
Okay.
that type of thing. Like I'm not great with it.
Okay.
So they're willing to help and say, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to, once you get this letter, go ahead, post it on your Facebook page.
Okay.
Put it on Instagram, all these things, and just kind
I
of.
don't have an Instagram account.
I do, but I forgot I had one. So
I have one.
I
have
hardly
no
ever go on
idea.
Facebook. But if that's not who you are,
Right.
then that's not where you're going to go.
Okay.
I'm a
So that's why you're here.
face-to-face person, so I just go and I talk to people.
Okay.
And, I'm probably going to be around town, and Like you said, in Burlington, either me or Susie has coached many different teams.
Exactly.
So I'll just go talk to people and say, hey, we're doing the buddy walk. We're chairing the buddy walk. Are you interested in donation, or were you interested in joining our team? Do you just want to come in and hang out in Wakefield on October 8th?
Is there a need for like volunteers to come and hand out waters or?
So we're always welcoming volunteers.
Okay.
And if anybody is interested in who to contact, I can pass that information along with the email address and the person that's in charge of the volunteers, and
but
they
also
can volunteer.
On the MDSE website, there's a contact us, thing as well.
So there's a contact us, but there's also a direct contact that I have. I have information for the young lady that has that takes care of that. And actually this year, the Burlington High School, at least the varsity soccer team, if not the JV soccer team, are going to be volunteering. I actually just talked with the coach earlier today, and I talked to the woman that's in charge of the MDSC and volunteering and scheduling that, and so she sent them the forms. So that entire team. So if any of the girls on the team didn't know, you're going to be coming to the Buddy Walk on October 8th with your team, and they're great. All the girls on the team, they love Ethan. Because Brianna's on the team, so that's how we got the connection with that, and they love, and I'm sure they would do anything to hang out.
You had mentioned the chairperson's letter.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got that in an email because I've known you and Susie since Brianna was really well. That was a really well written letter. Did you do that yourself, or did you have help, or is there like a guideline? Because this is like AP English level.
So that's one place where the MDSC helps out a lot. Because we are our first year chairs, that was one of those things you have to get that out like right away, because you want to encourage people to make teams. You also want to encourage anyone that wants to join your team, anyone that's interested in helping out, volunteering, all these things. So you really want to get the word out.
Right.
So that was one of those things of where we sat down with one of the people that works for the MDSC, and they basically just interviewed us and said, tell us your story. What happened, where, how the same thing we're doing now.
Right.
What
I'm not going to write a letter for you.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
so you know.
But we've already got the letter written, so we're okay.
Letter's done.
But they just found, what's your story? How's it been? How do you feel about the MDSC? What are your experiences with it? What have you done? All those things. And then they had to send a bunch of pictures, which we have tons and tons and tons of pictures.
From all the walks for the last 12 years.
And we sent those to them, and then they put it all together, and we proofread it, and I said, oh, well, this is what this was, and change some wording here, and move some things around. So there is like a template for it.
Okay. But they have like a marketing team to kind of
help
support
out.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm like, wow.
Yeah. No, that wasn't all us. All the information,
it came
out,
but I'm like,
but
wow, you guys are really good writers.
the way it was put together in that format, that we had some help with that. Mm-hmm.
How would somebody? You just mentioned that you could join Ethan's entourage or form your own team. What does it take to form a team? Do you have to have someone on your team with Down syndrome, or can you just be a supportive group of, soccer players or something?
Most teams do have somebody with Down syndrome on them, but that you don't have to. If you want to just make a team, when you go onto the website and they'll say either join a team or create a team.
Okay.
Create the team, give a team a name, and then start sending it out to whoever you think might want to be on that team.
Okay.
you know, if you wanted to say something like, if you want to say Ethan's crew, or, you know, if you want to say just like, you know, Burlington High School,
Okay.
or the McNamees. No one's gonna ask like, oh well, who do you know with Down syndrome,
Okay.
or who's on your team that
Why are
has
you
it?
here?
They don't care. It's
You're
whatever
here.
help,
Yay!
yeah, whatever help we get, and whatever you know, support, we'll take it.
Now, are there minimum fundraising requirements, like some road races you have to earn this or raise this much money?
We'll take $25. We don't care. You know, it's
So
it's more the people
Okay.
than it is the money. Yes, we do
money's
want like
important.
donations.
Right.
Money is important because that money helps fund programs and activities and all these things. But it's just to have the people
building that
supporting you.
awareness and the support and the
And
network.
Yeah, and seeing that many people that care and want to,
Okay.
you know, they want to know about Down syndrome, or they want to support somebody with Down syndrome, or
Okay.
anything.
With the Buddy Walk or any of the work MDSE does, you've talked about, you know, the support system, the play dates, the networking. Do you know if any of the money goes toward like research or legislation or?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of it goes to legislation, research, and lobbying. It goes to different programs. There's a dance program that helps people with Down syndrome, and
Like ballroom dance type thing?
it's more. I think it's more like expressive dance. But so
okay.
I believe they will be performing again at the Walk on stage at some point, probably midway through, and that's mostly for the older, the young adults that have Down syndrome, and they will perform like a dance routine, like any other, you know, dance company.
Okay.
They'll perform that. There's all types of research that goes into it. There's money for funding of like on a semi-yearly or yearly basis, you go and you have testing done. It tests like your thyroid. You test your hearing. You work with speech. You talk to a doctor and find out, you know, is there anything that you know you need to be concerned about?
Okay,
Because
so
there can be some health concerns.
Okay, so like with individuals with Down syndrome might be more susceptible to hearing issues or thyroid issues, or
yeah, so thyroid that can be enlarged, and that can cause issues with growth and everything. Heart conditions, they could have a heart condition. You know, a lot of times the hearing canals are just smaller. Because the ears are a little bit smaller. So there could be some hearing issues, or like in our case, there aren't any. There's no hearing, there's no heart issues, none of those things. But it goes into research to being able to either detect or treat those conditions if they do come up.
Should they arise?
So like during COVID, individuals with Down syndrome were at high risk. Because of respiratory issues, the fact that their pathways might be a little bit smaller, so the congestion might be worse, that type of thing. Just the breathing could be worse. So that's just one of those things that it's just a little bit more susceptible to, like some health conditions.
Speaking of doctors, though, does Ethan need a specialized pediatrician who has studied other individuals with Down syndrome, or could you just go to any pediatrician?
No, Ethan and Brianna have the same exact doctor. They don't. It does. There's no difference. But
so I'm just thinking to look for the hearing issues, the heart issues, the thyroid.
Yeah. But they also, well, I would say this. He has more than one doctor.
Oh, okay.
He has his primary doctor,
Okay.
but he also goes to a clinic in Boston,
Okay.
and so he has that doctor.
So like any specialist.
So
Okay.
that doctor will, so his primary doctor will, whenever they do like the yearly checkups, they then send that information to the Down syndrome clinic. They take a look at it too, and they're a little bit more specialized with it. So if there's anything that they might notice more
So
than like
any
the primary
warning
care.
signs, they'll say, hey, wait a minute, we need to take a closer look at that.
Yeah, but in general, no. He has the same as any other kid. He has a pediatrician, and he goes for checkups, and if there's any, if you get sick, then that's who we go to. We don't drive all the way to Boston because it's not necessary.
No, good.
And it's a long way
That
to
would
go.
not
And it's a
be
lot
fun.
of traffic, and it's
Oh
a
my
long
gosh.
day. So yeah.
So you and Susie are co-chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna has recruited pretty much her entire soccer team
Mm-hmm.
to participate in the Buddy Walk. How's Ethan involved, other than having the team named after him? Does he have like a special role?
His role is really just to be him.
And no one could do the job better.
And yeah, and so I mean, and he, without really even probably realizing it, he advertises for the Buddy Walk. So he'll say like, oh, we're doing this, or I'm gonna go, we're gonna go walk around, and we're gonna go in Wakefield, and we're gonna walk, and the Buddy Walk's coming up, and he'll tell people all about it. And every year after he's come back, he tells his whole class about it, and he has like a report about it. And he says like, hey, this is what I did, this weekend. Is I went to the Buddy Walk, and I had this, and we had balloon animals, and I got snacks, and we ran around, and we danced, and we laughed, and and kind of met all my friends, and all these types of things. So
and balloons and
and
and there was a dog there.
Yeah, he loves dogs, and so
Can people bring their dogs as long as they're like leashed and well behaved, or?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's on the come. It's a really big area, so people have their dogs there, and they walk them around, and there's kids in wagons. They carry on their little red wagons. They have them, and there's tents, and there's like I said, there's sponsors. So we have a bunch of different sponsors.
Okay.
And if anyone's interested, excuse me, in sponsoring or becoming a sponsor, then like I said, I can put you in contact with the people that will deal with that and will help you out with that.
Cool.
With different levels. And then there's different incentives for being a different sponsor. Yep. Names on T-shirts, blankets, packages like welcome packages. Like Susie, the law firm that Susie works for, they donate every year.
Oh,
and
great.
so when we go in, we pick up the the thank you package for her work, and we bring back like blankets and shirts and mugs and all types of things.
Swag.
Yeah, all types of swag, and and all these things that we have made up through some of our partners that do different promotional stuff.
Cool. Just in this year's color theme.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Does the logo for the walk itself change every year? And
yes.
You as chair, do you have any say in that?
As chair,
No.
not specifically. As committee members, yes.
Okay.
We all vote on the colors, and we look at the designs, and we also talk about what kind of swag we want to have.
Okay.
So
Do you
mugs.
want this kind of coffee
cups.
mug, or do you want that kind of coffee mug?
Yeah, exactly. And every year there's a different theme.
Okay. What's this year's theme?
This year's theme is reach. So it's basically it's not an acronym. It's just we're trying to help individuals with Down syndrome to reach their goals, reach their dreams. We're reaching out to, like the MDSC is reaching out to individuals with Down syndrome and reaching out to the public to try and help anyone that has a mental disability.
Okay.
Just trying to reach the height of your of your potential.
Okay.
So that's our theme.
So the theme is committee voted. Okay.
Yep. So we talk about a couple different things and what are we thinking here and any ideas, and then we kind of say, oh yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that.
and
go
you
with
can tie
this,
it
you
into
know.
the logo. And
Yeah, and so it's really cool.
what else is new this year?
So
Is there anything new this year? What do you hope will be
like I said,
bigger and better this year?
we have a new a new guest or a new. Normally, it's a celebrity.
Okay.
Rachel Coleman isn't new this year, but she was gone because of COVID.
Okay.
But she's back.
Yay!
So that's exciting. She's with Signing Times. And then let's see. Well, there's always a new maximum number. So
Okay.
like,
What is your
a couple
goal
years
this
ago
year?
for numbers,
Yeah.
we're looking at probably around 4,000 people.
Oh, okay.
And we have a monetary goal of about 525,000. And with 4,000 people, that's actually not too far off. You can if we can just get some donations from everyone, we can reach that goal. And again, that all goes to like research and inclusion and advocacy and helping people with mental disabilities, Down syndrome, that type of thing.
How has it? So we talked about a little bit about the COVID years. So just taking the COVID years out.
Mm-hmm.
The walk's been around since you said 96?
Yep, 1996, yeah.
How did it, do you know how it started and how it's changed and evolved? Has it always been in Wakefield? Every year has it grown like a
Every
certain
year it grows.
percentage? Okay.
Every year it grows. And I think when we first started 12 years ago, it's grown exponentially.
Wow.
Like really a lot. Like I think there's maybe 500 when we started, when Ethan was a baby.
That is a
and
lot.
And it helps because of exposure and getting the word out there. And so it used to be that if you earned a certain amount as a team, you got your own tent and you had this and that. And so it's gotten to the point where so many teams earn, you cannot have that many tents on the common.
So now instead of earning this much, you have to earn that much to get a tent.
Yeah, and you
So what's the tent for? Is it just like a place to take a break? Or?
It's just like an incentive. Like, so if you earn a certain amount, if you're one of the top 5, maybe 10 teams, you get a tent. And in that tent, you have normally like a picnic basket that has snacks and things like that.
Oh, okay.
You get a cooler. You get, probably some blankets. You get shirts.
Okay.
You
So you get some of the same.
all types of things.
Okay.
But you also, for your team, you have a centralized location that is just for your team.
Okay.
Your team goes in there. You guys, you have food in there. There's no food supplied for you in that tent. And
incentive.
Yeah, so it's nice. They take care of you.
By October, it's not like super warm out like it would be in the middle of July.
You would not think it would be that warm, but we've been really lucky. It's been very sunny, very nice, very warm, very nice to walk around the lake around that time. We have not had many years where it hasn't been really nice, but honestly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everyone just puts on their rain jackets and they go and they hang
Liquid
out
sunshine.
and they walk out and there's kids sliding everywhere and everyone's got a washing machine, so they have to wash everyone's clothes. So it's just really
does everybody
fun.
start walking at the same time, or is it just like a rolling basis when you show up? You just
No, people will we'll start the walk at a certain time. It's normally about right around noon, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Is when we'll announce that you can start walking. And we generally will have just like a balloons, an arch of balloons, or a walkway. And along that walkway, if you as an individual have raised a certain amount, there'll normally be a sign with your name on it that says, you were a Buddy Walk All-Star. So everyone,
do you get
sees
to
your
keep
name.
your sign when the walk's done?
Yes.
Oh,
we
cool.
take the signs. You can't take the you can't take the stands on the signs because we like to reuse them. But a lot of years you take the sign with you, and then people just kind of stagger along because the walkway around the lake isn't but so wide. So if you have 4,000 people trying to walk at the same exact time, they will all be in the street because you can't walk
Or
that far.
the lake.
Yes. So one of the
No
other.
swimming.
But it's
a buddy
nice
walk,
though.
not a buddy swim.
Yep. Yeah. So it's good.
What would you like to see? Not that you're going to be chair for the next 5 years, because your tradition is 2. What would you like to see happen, like in the next 5 years, or by the time Ethan graduates from high school, which will be like 6 years, 7
Yeah.
years.
So I
6 years.
I think what we'd probably like to see is how the inclusion and research and the legislation has helped other people. So we have, there's people that come back and they speak, but I'd like there to be like an entire team, 20, 30 kids individuals or adults on a panel.
Okay.
And they're coming back and they're talking about their business. Or even those businesses that were developed because of the money that was raised by the Buddy Walk.
Okay.
Those businesses are the ones that are sponsoring. Those are the ones that are on the back of the shirt that say like, cool. Okay, this is Claire's Bakery is one of our sponsors because she's been that successful.
Oh, wow.
And it's because of the money that she, that was raised to help her educate and get her started and that type of thing. So I think that's probably one of the things I'd like to see is names. The names on the shirts are a bunch of sponsors from individuals with Down syndrome that they're sponsoring the event now and not just participating in it.
That would be cool. I should have saved that till the end, but we still have a few minutes left. What are some of the other big events that MDSC runs? There's something called the 21 Challenge or World Down Syndrome Day. Are they like the same thing? Or?
So on World Down Syndrome Day, you do a 21 challenge. So it's basically just supporting Trisomy 21.
Okay.
So it's on March 21st.
Okay, because the
so it's
3 is for
21.
March.
Yeah, the Trisomy 21. So so what that is you do something, whatever you're doing, whatever like exercise or what activity, you put it in some way in 21. Okay. So if you want to do 21 jumping jacks, you do 21 jumping jacks. If you want to run 21 miles, run 20. I'm not running 21 miles. If you want to,
I love your family, but I'm not running 21 miles.
If for most people, you'd like to eat 21 pieces of chocolate,
and I could do.
You would, video that or whatever, and then submit it to, the website and say, like, okay, this is what I did on World Down Syndrome Day. Okay. You do that.
I'm gonna eat 21 Swedish fish.
Yeah. So anything 21, just to support and show that we support people with Down syndrome.
Isn't there also like a sock day or something?
So that on World Down Syndrome Day, you wear mismatched socks.
Okay. Why are they mismatched?
Mismatched, just because the chromosomes in someone with Down syndrome they aren't matched. They aren't even.
Oh.
So there's an extra Y. So that's why you mismatch and that's the way that you should support. And a lot of times you do blue and yellow because those are the actual colors for Down syndrome, blue and yellow.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do. But we change them every year. Anyway. But yeah, so you could wear, you wear blue and yellow, or you paint something blue or yellow, or do something that's blue and yellow. A lot of times on World Down Syndrome Day.
Paint these fingernails blue and these fingernails yellow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then mismatch my socks.
Yep. So,
what are we forgetting to talk about?
We've covered a lot.
What is your favorite memory of the past 11, 12 buddy walks? Well, maybe not the favorite, but what is one of the first things that come to mind when you think buddy walk?
Probably family. I'd have to say that's probably it. It's the amount of people that when you see somebody in the Down syndrome community, it's like you're seeing like a cousin. You go and you meet the person, they give them a big hug. Like, hey, you might not have seen them in months, but you instantly just know them. And it's special in that way. And the amount of support that we've personally had from our friends and family that have shown up to the walk, and if you see the chairperson's letter, there's a huge photo of like a whole group of people. They're just, from end to end, there's all types of kids, and there's adults, and they're all in there, and then we're all just in one big picture, and we all have the shirts on, and that's what it's all about. It's just the family and the way that the people took us in, and kind of said, it's okay, you're gonna be all right, and this is what you have to look forward to, and this is how it's gonna work for you. And so I'd say that'd be the biggest thing, or the most fond thing, is just the outpouring of joy, and how many people are there to support, and just seeing how happy everyone is, and just how great it is.
Cool. Any other closing thoughts? Because we still have 2 minutes left.
No, it's, the big thing is if you see somebody that has, not just Down syndrome, you see somebody that has like some type of disability, just remember that, again, they're a person first, and they might get mad at you. They might not like you. They might like you. Who knows? You might not be interested in the same things, but they're just people, and all they want is to just go and play and hang out, especially as kids. They want to go play, and they just want to run around, and they want to jump, and they want to, kick a ball in the soccer field, or they want to hit, or
they
whatever.
may or may not see themselves as being different. They're just a kid.
Yeah, if you ask, if you ask Ethan, you say, oh, Ethan, what do you like? He's like, oh, well, I like trains. I like playing Roblox. Or what do you like? He goes, well, I'm Ethan, and that's it. And you go, oh, but you understand, like, you have Down syndrome. He goes, well, yeah, but it's like, okay, like, well, of course I do.
Yeah.
Like,
Your point.
almost like, well, doesn't everyone have it? Because
I have an extra
chromosome. We're like, oh, well,
so
that
I'm
kid's,
cool,
we're like, oh, well, we're like, we'll see someone out who has Down syndrome. We're like, oh, see, that kid's like you. He goes, yeah. And that's the end of it. It's like, okay. Yeah, I know. I get it.
No big
but
deal.
Whatever.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter to them, then, you want to try and do your best to not have it matter to you.
Okay.
Embrace that kid, or embrace that person, and kind of just,
treat
them like you would anyone else. His sister treats him like her little brother. She doesn't treat him like a little brother with Down syndrome. She goes, that's my little brother.
Although she's a really nice big sister.
Yeah, but you're being annoying. Stop being annoying to my little brother.
Okay.
So that's the big thing. That's the big takeaway, is to just, they want to be included, and just keep that in mind.
Okay. Buddy Walk dates?
It's October 8th.
October 8th, okay.
And it's at the lake in Wakefield.
Okay.
And we're going to have, like I said, there's going to be all types of balloon animals. There'll be music playing. There'll be instruments for kids to play. There'll be all types of, there's a humongous snack table of water, and
cool.
Some kids like hummus. Ethan likes hummus a lot. There's some really big sponsors
Cool.
that are going to be there, and
So come.
lots of people. Yeah, come enjoy, have fun, and have a good time.
All right. Well, we are out of time.
All
So
right.
thank you so much. I loved hearing your story. I'm really jazzed for the Buddy Walk. Hopefully I can make it. So thank you for taking time out of your chaotic schedule, your busy schedule. And I also want to thank everyone at home for tuning in this evening. I hope that you are as excited and thinking more about inclusivity for our neighbors and our friends and our kids. So thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. I'll see you around town. Good night. bye, Goss.